This is going to be more of a serious video. Today I had a client who told me something horrendous that I still can't get out of my mind fully. She works with children who have been through horrendous accidents, spinal cord injuries, neck injuries, just really horrific things. For anyone really, but especially for children. And she told me that she gets woken up in the middle of the night because she may have wrote down the wrong thing in the notes, and she has such bad anxiety from all the horrendous things that she has to deal with and see these children go through that she has literally grinded her teeth, and she has nerve damage from grinding her teeth from all the horrendous things that she has to witness. And she's had to get her teeth replaced, and they were fresh when I met her today. And I am just thinking, oh my God, what kind of fucked up hellhole is this for anyone to go through that, but especially children. I know there's suffering that goes on here that is just indescribable. And to think that this place continues to go on day after day, tragedy after tragedy. I've had some pretty fucked up things happen to me in my life, but it is nowhere near, not even close, to the vicious, horrendous meat grinder of events that happen to so many different people. And a lot of people have to live in complete agony and complete torture for the rest of their lives because of one thing or another. And I'm sitting here thinking, and this place is just allowed to continue. This place is just allowed to infester the most horrendous tragedies. And we can get kind of dulled by, it's not so bad. No, it's really bad. Really, really bad. Especially after hearing that. And not only the children, but the lady herself. She ground her teeth to the point where she had nerve damage. And she's waking up in the middle of the night, traumatized by what these children have gone through and will continue to go through for the rest of their life. So that got me thinking. And of course, I've thought about this and talked about this before, but a lot of us know that we aren't this body. This is not where we end. There's something beyond this. And there's been many others who have gone before us. Even people claiming to want to shut this place down. But nothing has happened. The vicious cycle, the meat grinder, continues day after day. We can't just allow this place to continue. There is no freedom. There's no peace. There's no bliss, comfort, glory. There's nothing good that we could possibly want while this place is still running everything through torture, enslavement, mind control. All the worst things imaginable are happening right now in this place. And we're just going to walk away from it. That's not going to happen. You can't just walk away from this place and allow live and let live kind of thing, So that got me thinking, okay, so if there's a way to shut this place down, that means there's that big red button that ethicists talk about. If there's a big red button, I would push it. Would you push the button to shut this place down? Would you become the villain in everyone's eyes who are not aware of these things. It's like some kind of monster to destroy all life in this realm. Well, I don't think of it as destroying all life. I think of it as freeing all life. But you're presented with, okay, you can shut it down, but that means you're going to have to kill everything in it. And even if it's just a simulation, you shut this place down, everyone that's in that simulation, their lives will end. They can't get out of the simulation. Boom. You push that button, their lives are over. Their personalities or characters, all their hopes and dreams and aspirations. But here's the thing. It was already over to begin with. It's just the time clock ticking away until all their hopes and dreams and aspirations die, if they haven't already. It's different than physically going on a rampage and destroying everything in this realm, because on the outside, it's like a peaceful exit. There's no pain involved. It's just a shutdown, power goes out, blackness, little blimp, boop, done. Now that's just in my mind. I don't actually know what would happen. You shut it down, then everything just slowly drains away and suffers and dies because there's no energy left. But we're the energy, right? We're powering this thing, right? Everything in here is powering this thing. I don't know how it works. All I know is this place can't continue. And if we do get our freedom, which we will, I will accept nothing other than that. What about everything else? What about the will to live? They all want to live in this fake torture clown show, or perhaps they just don't know any better. That's like the dilemma of knowing, okay, I'm more than this body, and when I die, that's my chance of getting something more, becoming free, becoming sovereign, having true freedom and knowing what life is like outside of a torture chamber. But everything else, everyone else, is still in it. Nothing has come to shut it down. There's been so many people who have come and gone. And don't be naive to think that no one's ever tried or wanted to try. Because I know people who are gone, who wanted just that. And nothing's changed. Is there an army amassing on the outside of this place, just waiting for the right numbers to fully take this place down? Is there a war going on right now in the heavens? And the more that join, the faster this whole thing goes down. Is there no way to stop it? Is the only way to stop it is the only way to stop it is for just the individual to free themselves. And that's the only way to get out. These are all questions that no one really has answers for. They may think they have answers for them, but it just doesn't make any sense. If you look at all the evidence that you're presented with, and why is it still going on? And if it's just a school, if it's just a little game that we signed up for, if it's something like, oh, it's a growing thing, and you get out and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, that was terrifying but thrilling, and I learned so much. We're going to have to slaughter every single one of you who put this into motion and who has kept this running. That's it. No matter what it is, you're going to have to be slaughtered and rubbed out of existence, stomped out of existence, forever thinking this was something good, or a good idea, or a fun idea, or a little experiment, whatever it is. there really has to be justice. And that justice is taking everyone involved and completely wiping them out of existence. And a lot of people may think that's, that's a good thing, because I don't want to exist either. So, like, being wiped out is a good thing. Sign me up. If that's the choice that you want, that's fine. If that's possible for you and you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you. But for the ones who have intentionally created this place to be exactly what it is, there is no room in existence for you at all. There's no rehabilitation. There is no I'm sorries. There is no, oh, I just didn't know. There has to be justice for those kids who have suffered tremendous bodily harm of no fault of their own, and the million other tragedies that happen every single moment in this life. Would you be willing, when you're presented, if you're presented, or if you force your way through and you see the plug to unplug it, would you be willing to do it? Even if the whole world looks at you like you're the villain or you're the monster, will that free every living spirit that has true life? Will all the NPCs go out of existence with the torture chamber? Are we all NPCs? And we all get wiped out? Either way, when you become aware of where you are and whatever has created this and whatever has gaslighted you to think that it's somehow good or it's bad, but just hold on, it's a test, or give it some time, I'm coming back in so-and-so year to see who is my loyal followers. Any and everyone involved needs to be wiped out of existence. That's the end of the story. And there's no way that we can truly live to our fullest potential while this place is still going. It's evil here. It's truly evil. And we've been sedated by the lust of this world, the sedation of comfortability, fulfilling our desires of our meat suit. Hey, as long as we're comfortable, everything's fine. We have a nice little chair to sit on and a little phone to look at, or, I can go walking in the woods. I can go ride my bike. I can go drive to this parking lot, buy some things. I mean, come on, really? You think this is life? Seeing everything around you degraded, seeing animals rip each other apart. Animals are part of this evil creation. It's not their fault. They're just going on their instincts. And they're very selfish. Guess what? We are also part animal. That's the hybridization of animal and higher being. I look at animals and I think they deserve so much more. Like, why are they so limited? They're even more limited than us. And people will say, oh, they're actually a lot smarter than us because they're in tune with nature and they do this, this, and this. Okay. If you really objectively look at animals, they're more enslaved than we are. They're more devolved than we are. Every time we are thinking of ourselves as devolved, we're acting just like an animal would. And all the pets that we have, they're just, they've just been house trained, basically. But if you met that feral dog out in the woods, he wouldn't be so happy to see you. He'd rip you to shreds. Domesticated, that's the word. And just like us humans, we've been through, if we're in a constant state of survival, which we are, but, they don't have any, the comfortabilities of modern life, you become a beast. You become a different kind of beast. I don't want that for them. I don't want that for us. The killing field of life. The body bags are stacked higher than Mount Everest. What are we thinking? That this is some kind of magical, good realm where if we just tune to the right frequency and think the right thoughts, things will get better. Or we're just doing this the wrong way. The collective consciousness has been manipulated so that now the world is bad. I was listening to something today that someone recommended me, and he was talking about whatever you think. Basically, the collective consciousness is kind of controlling how this realm works. And if we individually, change our consciousness, basically, if the whole collective consciousness thinks one thing, then that will present itself in reality. And since the collective consciousness is all in fear and, selfishness and blah, 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 more gaslighting, that's why the world is the way it is. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm using my critical thinking right now because, it sounds nice, right? Oh, I'm just going to take your word for it. No, I'm going to think this through, okay? You know how many psyops there are in this world? That the collective consciousness believes that's a lie and didn't change shit. We didn't go to the moon, yet the mass collective consciousness thinks we did. For some reason, I just got stumped there. Something is invading my mind space and diverting me away. And instead of allowing it to do that, I'm going to continue through this process because I think it's very important. The collective consciousness believes a lot of bullshit that's not real. And then believing it didn't change anything. See what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to be gaslit to think, oh, it's our fault. And because we're thinking and believing certain things, the reality is presenting itself as that. No. You know how many people believed in the 2020 event with the mask and the 6 feet distance and closing all the businesses down? That wasn't real either. You know how many people believe that the politicians and governments are actually doing something for us? No. We believed that for so long, and the whole time we're getting fucked. You know how many people believe this is some kind of school where you learn and grow and, positivity and, it's just how you look at it? No. Nothing changed. It stayed the same. It stayed the same shithole that it always was. It stayed the same torture field that it always was. When you just look at this place objectively and throw out all the gaslighting, throw out all the reasons why, oh, it's your fault, it's this way, you just gotta change the way you think, or, it's, look at all the positives. There can be positives, so-called positives in your life, but that doesn't change the fact of what this place is. And that no one deserves to go through this. No animal deserves to go through this. There is some evil, there's There's some evil intelligence behind all of this that needs to be wiped out, thrown into the pit of non-existence, never to be seen or heard from again. Now, this may sound kind of crazy for people who don't, think like this, who don't understand how this thing has infected and infested and weaseled its way into every little thing of this life. But really, it was always designed this way. So it's like a chameleon presenting you with all the different flavors and colors, distracting you, wooing you, awing you. And you're like, oh, wow, ooh, I'm going to go chase this, I'm going to go do that. And all the time you're being fucked. Just to end up just to be thrown in a pit. Your body rots in the ground. Or burns up in a fire and your ashes blow in the wind. Oh, time for another one. Time for another one. It's just... So there comes a point where you have to ask yourself, when is it enough to finally realize that all the little distractions that this place wants you to chase after, like, all the little numbers and the symbology and, going from this rabbit hole to that rabbit hole, chasing this idea, this philosophy or that philosophy, this religion, that religion, this mindset, that mindset, at the end of the simulation, at the end of the day, it all boils down to, that's just like kind of all fluff. The problem itself is existence. The problem itself is this existence. There's no way to change the ugly facts about this existence. There's no way to put on makeup and pretty up this existence and say, hey, look, it's better now. No. No matter what happens, this existence is vile and disgusting. And whatever created it needs to pay. Needs to be thrown into the biggest, darkest pit, never to be seen or heard from again. Complete annihilation of whatever this thing is, these things are. It doesn't matter what your theory is. It doesn't matter what your outlook, what rabbit hole you want to go down, what kind of theory you want to say, well, that theory's wrong, this theory's right. That's just all fluff. It doesn't matter what the theory is, honestly. All that matters is whatever created this thing needs to fucking go. We need to quit bickering and fighting over theories and different rabbit holes that we've gone down and chasing video after video after video of, look what they're doing here and look what they're doing here and there. Oh, look at all these numbers and all these symbols. This means that. This means this. I get it. We're bored. It's interesting. It feels like we're getting somewhere. It feels like we're on the cusp of something. But in reality, nothing's changed. Nothing. The only real thing that we can do is prepare ourselves for the inevitable showdown of what happens after we get out of this place. I can't tell you for sure what happens. All I know is I don't want this place. I don't want anyone to have to go through this. I want freedom for us all. If there are any evil characters, truly evil, running around here, which there are, who is directly responsible and upholding this prison, they need to pay. And all the ones outside who are directly responsible for creating and holding up this prison, they need justice. They need to pay. And the question is, well, how do we get justice? What are we going to do? What, we have some kind of superpowers and we're going to just wipe them out? I don't know. I would like to think that we do. I would like to think that we're much, much, much more than this limited, pathetic human vessel and all of its weakness and infirmities and confusions and mind fucks and just, don't you see how they've totally degraded us by putting us in these things with all of its lower animal nature and desires and just like really, really bad psychology. I don't really have the words, but you know what I mean. No one's done it yet. Or if they have, time is different here and it's done there, but it takes time for it to be done here. That's the thing. It's like what I mentioned earlier. It could be a million different things, a million different conspiracies or reasons why, oh, it's this, or no, it's that. It makes me think that, well, it's making me think, oh, you're the bad guy because these things in my world, they want to continue living this way. And you just want to pull the plug. You just want to, insert your will onto them. Their will is to live. Guess what? My will is for them to live outside of the prison that you created for them. My will is that everyone and everything be free. And the only way that can happen is if this place gets pulled. The plug gets pulled. And the grand reveal is, boom, it's there. Animals cannot break free of their conditioning and their programming. They will be perpetual slaves for all of eternity if nothing is done. A slaughter field for all of eternity if nothing is done. Humans have the higher spiritual nature that can come to their own conclusions and see this place for what it is, even though many and most don't, because of the conditioning, the mind control, the trauma, the propaganda, the body itself with all its desires, hormones, chemicals, the emotional states of people, and the trauma induced in that. Like, all of these things are working on your free will, which you do not have in this world, in this body. And I want that for everything. Well, this is just a bunch of fairy tale talk, because how do you even know any of this is real? How do you even know you can do any of this? How do you even know this is not just a delusion and we're just sitting on a floating rock in the middle of space and you're a monkey created from nothing? Well, I can also say that's a delusion for you too. But we have science to back it up, yeah. well, the science that has been purposely done to deceive you. And yeah, I mean, it can just go on and on and on. Like, either you gotten to the point where you found that everything in this world is a complete lie, a falsity. You know that no matter what you do or don't do, you're in a position where if you do one thing, that means you're causing something else to suffer. There's nothing clean in this realm. There's nothing pure in this realm. And the only reason why you think there is because you've been deceived into not seeing the bigger picture of the consequences of every little action that you do that's affecting every other thing. There's no happy ending here. That's just a delusion in your mind. Now, we do have the spiritual capabilities of making it a happy ending, despite all of the evil and the trauma and the suffering that goes on in this place and that everyone's been subjected to. I can use my spiritual faculties to rise above that regardless and do the best I can and fight this thing off and not let it pervert and degrade me the best that I can. And I'm gonna fall short every single day because I'm in this body, in this world that was designed to humiliate and watch me just flail around, running in circles, trying to transcend and become some kind of moral superior being, when all along it was just a humiliation ritual, just a farce, just a torture chamber. That's all it was. And you don't have to be in that bleak, dark depression that we all, let's face it, we all go through once we're aware and awake. That's just a natural reaction to waking up in a prison hellhole, realizing that your entire life has been taken from you. Your entire future has been taken from you. Your entire past has been taken from you. You don't even know who or what you are. You're left in a state of confusion, crawling around looking for some kind of truth. And they throw you, oh, look, you just have to worship him or worship her or dance this way or do this little trick. Beg for forgiveness and mercy for your pathetic little life. And then maybe there is some peace that you may find once you submit to it. I think there is good. I think there is peace. The word love, that's not a good word to use, but that exists right now within you, and that will exist going forward with you. But it's been so diluted and perverted and twisted to make you think that none of that's real. It is. You see little hints and glimmers of it within you. And if you don't, then just know it's there. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're a traumatized, tortured slave. You're a traumatized, tortured slave. And we're all trying to navigate this nightmare, and we all want the fuck out of it. And I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens when we transition, whether it be of old age, whether it be of a vicious accident, whether it be of a disease, whether it be of a car crash, whether it be of a peaceful exit, which we all deserve, whether it be name your poison, name the final destination, tragic ending to your life. That's just the reality of it. And if we just close your eyes and pretend none of that's real, and we're just, gonna think positive and blah, 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 blah. On a positive note, though, it's hard to describe, but I know within me there is a something that is so passionate, that is knowing that I am not of this fucking nightmare, and that no matter what happens, I have something within me that's going to carry me through. Whether it be to my tragic end or to something bright and beautiful, for lack of a better word. And I think you all have that too. It's just been buried and beaten down since before you were born. But especially we can only really remember this life, so we'll stick with that since you were born. And all the acts and the charades that humans play and pretend that, they're what they're doing is important in this life. It's just like seeing monkeys in business suits with their little suitcase running around, banging their suitcases on, on the computer and throwing bananas at each other and saying that this is so important. Yeah, being a cog in someone's torture chamber. That's very important. Yeah. Very important. Well, just had to get that off my mind. Had to do a serious video because, I have a lot of childish fun and humor, and I want to have fun. I want to be goofy. I want to have a good time. Make fun of this pathetic place. Tell little funny stories, But at the same time, there's some real shit going on here. Every single day. And it's not funny. And there's really no joke you can make about it. You can't really laugh off children being severely traumatized and damaged. You can't laugh that off. You can't say that's a good thing. You can't say that's a learning experience. Technically you could say it is a learning experience, but for what? It's just trauma. You actually have to unlearn that. Actually have to learn to cope with that. You have to learn to navigate having a fucked up body now. And that's not fun. And I despise the ones responsible for this. And let's just say, hey, you know what? We created this place. We thought it was a good idea. But we didn't really understand the consequences that were going to happen. Okay, so you realize that, right? So are you going to shut it down then? Oh, no, we can't do that. Well, you're going in the fucking hole of non-existence then, because you had the chance to do it and you refused and you just watched billions of children. We were all children once, innocent little children. You watch them all on the conveyor belt to the slaughterhouse, being tortured and raped in every way imaginable, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it. Where are the good beings that you say or think has power over this place, but yet refuse to do anything? Refuse to stop evil, let evil totally control and take over this world in every way imaginable. But at the very root of this existence is pain, suffering, and death. Manipulation, power struggle, deception. There's no way around it. This place is evil to the fucking core. And until you open your eyes and see it for what it is, and not the delusions that you were told or want to believe, you will never see it.